Looks like it's slowly coming on. If you're out there, say hello. Hi, Robin. It's gonna be a pretty short clip, or show today. Because I have rolling at 6 p.m. So I can't stay on too long. Hey, Jesu Michelle. Did I say that right? I know that's French. Brooke, Ashley. Whew, I'm tired. I almost didn't do this show, y'all. I was like, oh shit, I could use a nap. I could use a power nap. But I said, no, let me go ahead and get my ass on here and say what's up to y'all. Hey Shayna, hey MJ, hey Shantae. It's hot. It's hot in my room. Um, hey, let me speak to the manager, Jason, Petty, Nick, Annabelle. Okay, Michelle. I'll just say I'll leave the French part out and I'll just do Michelle. Hey, MD, Elizabeth, Pamplin. Thank you. These are my dazzle bands. Hey, Deborah, Jeffrey. Lady says I'm ragged as hell after John Lewis's funeral. Yeah, I was watching clips of it or rewatching clips of it. Lots of really powerful speeches or eulogies and tributes to Congressman John Lewis. I'm encouraged by how quiet it's been today. How relatively quiet it's been today in terms of the shenanigans that normally happen on social media. I feel like people, for a change, kind of chilled out, which I'm happy about. I mean, of course, there's always something, but I feel like people were mostly focused on Congressman John Lewis's funeral. Hey, Jackie, Keith, Michael, Shanice. I was told to Kara says hi. It is from my Twitter break. Hey, Rico. Next day, homie, love a friend. But I'm inspired to vote. That's great. Hey, B. Hey, vote Kamala, Tim, Lou, TJ, Derek. Another 1.4 million unemployed. I really have not had a chance to dig into these numbers. I saw some crazy number. I think it was 32.9% drop in our GDP growth. Do you guys know what I'm referring to? That the jobless claims went up, and the Senate is going to break without coming to an agreement about these unemployment benefits. So it's a mess. This economy is a mess. The Republican Party is just completely indifferent to the suffering that people are having. Evictions, the eviction moratorium is getting ready to be lifted. I know that Senator Kamala Harris, she came up with her relief act to extend the the moratoriums as well as the adverse credit reporting and a number of things to try to address that. But Mitch McConnell, um, there's so much going on. So I think the problem is that we just have such a high threshold for carnage and cruelty in this country. And so it's going to take people being thrown out of their houses, people just in such a state of panic. The panic is not the word I'm looking for. Despair is not the word I'm looking for, but desperation. Before people say, okay, we got to do something. We got to help people. Hey, Jennifer. She says, panties in a bunch Thursday. Kamala has them in knots. Girl, when does she not? Hey, Ludovic. Stephanie. Shantae says John Lewis's memorial service was beautiful. It was. And I appreciated a lot of the social distancing. Everybody had their masks on. Everybody's masks were on properly that I saw. Ludovic says, kudos, wonderful op-ed. Thank you. If y'all haven't read my op-ed yet, Every Woman Has a Chris Dodd. Check that out. Barack Obama preached. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. PBO brought that smoke. Yep. Hey, Kim. Keith. I think I said Keith already. Angela Stanton King, Black Trumper conspiracy theories back to back. I just saw the one thing she said, like, oh, all these Democrats have gotten COVID and these celebrities got COVID and they survived, but Herman Cain died. Herman Cain was in his late 70s and he was a cancer survivor and he's black. That's not a profile of somebody who's likely to survive COVID. I mean, what the fuck? This is not a conspiracy. This is well known at this point. And on top of all that, Herman Cain was actually a conspiracy theorist when it comes to the COVID stuff and saying don't wear masks and things like that. I'm very sorry for his family's loss. I think it's very sad. I saw a lot of people that were kind of like, oh well, he brought on himself and all kind of negative shit, and even a lot of people were saying, oh, I didn't agree with his politics and this and the other. I don't really feel the need to have those kind of disclaimers. It's sad. It's sad that this gentleman lost his life. It's sad that perhaps he, felt like it was a hoax to a certain degree. Maybe that's what he genuinely felt, and it's really, really sad. And his blood is on Trump's hands. It's just, it's very tragic and unfortunate. John Lewis, his fight will never stop. He's on the other side and help us. God, it's good to see you. Yes, yes, it's so incredible. I loved Reverend James Lawson's speech and how he got up there. And he said, "Look, the history books are wrong, and words matter, and it's important to get it right." And I just appreciated the way that he broke it down. I appreciated how he shouted out Black women as well, who are part of the movement, because a lot of times they're not the names that you hear in terms of their very, very powerful influence and how instrumental they were. So I definitely appreciated Reverend James Lawson. You guys should check that out if you haven't checked it out. Check out what he said in his tribute to Congressman John Lewis. Hey Elaine, great article in Media. I brought a lot of response because so many of us can relate to what is being leveled against Senator Harris. Yeah, truly. I was very heartened actually to see people finally seeming to start to wake up to, hey, this is fucked up what's happening to her. And maybe it's a little bit more relatable to them because they see how, the way in which women are judged to double standards and penalized for being ambitious, God forbid. And so I appreciate it to see more people come to her defense. That's the most people that I can recall in recent times coming to her defense. There's a part of me that's very disappointed that it takes that much abuse for people to say, wait a minute, this is fucked up. I mean, to me, the Dodd article, that already sent me over. This is the 20 articles before about the debate sent me over. But, it's when it comes to Black woman, the threshold for, how much abuse she has to take before people stand up is much, much, much lower. Much lower. And even then, you're going to have a more narrow group of people that will come to her defense. But I appreciate everybody who did speak out in defense of Kamala, because it's important that, you send a message to these motherfuckers that it's not okay to sit up there and block a woman and use these sexist and racist tropes. And, I think that was really important, how people really galvanized behind her. And I hope it sent a strong message to the Biden campaign. His campaign manager, Jen O'Malley Dillon, she left this little mealy mouth tweet, this subtweet about, oh, ambitious woman make history, yada, yada, yada. Like I said, I'm not impressed by shit like that, like y'all are. And by y'all, it's to whom it may apply. I think it's inadequate, and I think that they should have strongly repudiated any suggestion that that it's appropriate to trash a woman because she's ambitious. That's what I think. If you have all these strong women, all these ambitious women, then why didn't y'all come up with a more adequate response? I'm not saying that they aren't strong, but what I'm saying is there's a disconnect in the values that your campaign displays and the conviction behind those values and what you say you represent. There's a disconnect to me. But like I said, the proof is in the pudding, and I told her directly, not that she knows who the fuck I am, but I told her directly, receipts, not rhetoric. We'll see next week when he announces, or whenever the fuck, if he want to drag it out beyond next week, when he announces who won. Is it the Chris Dodds or it's the Kamala? You cannot have, if it's not Kamala, then they won. Period. Petty says GDP is down 33%, also down 33%. Okay, are you confirming that, or are you asking? Because like I said, I had said something like that, but I wasn't sure. I don't have it right in front of me. Yes, worst GDP dive ever. Okay, the economy contracted. Let's see. There's 10 million people scheduled to lose unemployment based on insurance, employment-based insurance by the end of 2020. Oh, are you talking about health insurance? Mm. We're almost nearing a depression. Agent Orange crashed the economy. Can't skate on President Obama anymore. Mm-hmm. And all this because they wanted to be anti-science and politicize a response to coronavirus. If we had just fucking worn masks, if we had shut down, if he had invoked the Defense Production Act, which, by the way, Senator Kamala Harris and Bernie Sanders are working on masks for all. Using production to get masks for all people, which I think is great. But the incompetence and just the insistence on being cruel is why we're in this fucking mess. Thank you, Grace Bay CLT. Mitch McConnell is the devil. He sure the fuck is. Okay, yes. Let me see who this said that. Nene says, did you see Trump's tweet implying delaying the election? I did, and that's why I put it. Hey Shayla, my friend, one of my besties is here. That's why I put it in the title. So I'm gonna circle back around to that. Let's see. Shantae says there's huge unemployment with Black Latinx communities. I know, and unemployment and COVID disproportional impact, and small businesses being disproportionately impacted. Kamala Harris had tweeted 440,000 Black-owned businesses will go out of business. Not 440, not 4,400, but actually 440,000. That's literally crazy. John Lewis's remembrance. Hey Pam, she says John Lewis's remembrance is beautiful. Jamila Thompson Lewis's deputy chief of staff is a treasure. Yes. Have you seen Ryan Cooper with his latest hit piece on Kamala? These people are exhausting. I mean, I saw a hit piece. I don't know if it was him specifically, but here's the thing. I'm not. Listen, we have to fight back on these hit pieces, but we do so in a way that doesn't amplify them. Meaning, we don't share it on our timeline. We fight back on their timelines. We report people that are perpetuating smears. If they're fake accounts, if they're spam accounts. But ultimately, it's more of a social media thing, and the best weapon that we have against all these hit pieces is talking to people in our family, talking to people that we know, continuing to amplify positive things about Kamala. That is the best way that we can be helpful. So whatever the fuck he's talking about, I don't know, but they always making some shit up. Let's see. I think once they saw that it was the blacks disproportionately impacted, they didn't care to give relief. That's exactly what it is. And Latinos, because they actually have even worse outcomes that I've seen than black people do. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. I believe that the Hispanic Latino mortality rate is actually higher than black people. Grace says, great article this week, left in industry due to multiple Chris Dodds. I know, it's crazy. I'm just getting so many horror stories about their own Chris Dodds. B says, Sally is going to take tragic desperation and the media to cover the story before the government reacts. Yeah, the media doesn't. The media is only reacts to sensationalism and just despair. So if it's not shit's hitting the fan, and they don't give a fuck. They don't really want to cover it. Yeah. Sean says it'll have to hit home for a lot of people to get it. Yep. Dave says, I have my mask on. That's right. Thank you, Nick, for reading and sharing my op-ed. Hey, and Kim. Hey, next day. Bonnie. Hey, Deb. Let's see. Stephanie says, did you see the linear notes about Kamala? Biden had his hand on NBC News last night. It was a speech about Kamala. I think Kamala's a shoo-in for the VP and should be, even if she's not. I would support whoever he chooses. But, of course, I'm a little biased for Kamala. I'm not impressed by, notes positioned to get photographed. He didn't say anything. He didn't verbally defend her. Neither has his campaign. I support black women. I don't support Joe Biden. I support black women. If it's not Kamala, I will always ride for a black woman. Now, okay, ride is a strong word. Let me put this. I will be supportive of a black woman no matter what. Now, does that mean I'm gonna lift a finger for Joe Biden's ass? Hell to the fuck no. Not if it's not Kamala. But I'm not gonna dog out a black woman. You're not gonna see me do that if it's not Kamala. But it absolutely should be because she's the most qualified and the right pick. Hey Queen Indica, welcome. Says you just recently found my page. Hey Samuel, let's see. Okay, let me try to skip down because I only got a couple more minutes before I gotta go. Oh yeah, about Herman Cain. He was in the ICU when his staff was tweeting. Did you guys see the stuff that his fucking staff was tweeting? You know, conspiratorial stuff, calling, still basically suggesting that coronavirus is a hoax. That's so fucking irresponsible. That's such a way to disgrace that man who was laying in the hospital dying. I mean, come on. Mm-mm-mm. Thank you. I can Toby. Appreciate you. Mm. I really I'm curious to know how many people, to Samuel's point, how many people were infected or even died from that rally. I mean, in Tulsa, the COVID infection rate was skyrocketing even before the rally. So I can only imagine what it looked like afterwards. Has thank you, lady. She says Dahlia. She says, has Trump tweeted out his condolences yet to Herman Cain? Yes, I did see that he did tweet that out. Let's see. Hey, Kate. Sherry says, Reverend Lawson came to teach us a history lesson today. Yes, he did. Jan says, hey, Reese, we do all have a Dottie. Yep. Hey, B Dizzle. Tara says, amazing homegoing for John Lewis. Yes, such a dignified service. I really, really appreciate it. The way that they just sent him off right. And I love the history lesson. I love the inspirations. And did you guys see that New York Times? Was it New York Times or Washington Post? I feel like it was New York Times. But the editorial that he wrote, I mean, he wrote his own editorial that was published today. You guys should definitely check that out if you haven't yet. I saw, I retweeted it, but I can't imagine that you haven't seen it 10 times yet. Hey, Rochelle. Elizabeth says, can you please remind me of your phrase? So my phrase is, disadvantages are not deficiencies and privilege is not merit. So you got it right. Yes. And suggesting otherwise is just bullshit. Really, a lot of it is white supremacy. When I'm referring to that, I'm really referring to white supremacist attitudes about who has merit and who's deficient. Let's see what else. I don't know how I get 10 minutes behind. Y'all must be chatty. People, we need Senator Harris to work on Reconstruction 2.0. Dems are inheriting. I'm at the point where Biden almost knows he needs to choose her. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing has been about everybody knowing that he needs to choose Kamala. And they've done everything in their power to try to stop her. So, there you go. Leon says, it seems your article was a turning point in real time. Like, people stopped and listened, just saying, I'll take that credit. I don't know if I deserve that much credit, but I will take that credit. But I do know that my article was doing pretty well. And then when the CNBC article came out, it was just like, okay, y'all, if you thought I was tripping, if you thought that I was just making shit up, you thought I was just overreacting, that CNBC article really made it indisputable that there is a Operation Block the Black Woman. Like I've been saying that. But people don't just trust my discernment. They got to hear it from somebody white who's writing an article first. But I've been saying it, literally. All right, let me keep going. I might have to skip some of y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that's important to note off. See, Mary says, I'm assuming you're talking about the GOP, made a COVID response bill that mostly paid off wealthy donors. That's some bullshit. They trying to give unemployed people $200 to $400 a week? What's that supposed to do? I mean, what the fuck? Okay, Michelle has clarified. 32.9% annualized, down 9.5% from last quarter. That's the GDP numbers. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Let me see. Let me see. Trump was spinning out because of the Maxwell docs were supposed to be released today. I didn't know that. I did not see that that was supposed to happen. This. All right. Let's see. Okay, let me see. David says, "Thank you for bringing that up. I'm a proud LGBTQ plus Mexican American Harris supporter." Yes, I know I'm black woman views and all, but I still, I still keep my ear to the streets. I still pay attention to what's happening across all of our communities of color because shit, if it's happening to one of us, you can bet it's happening to others in our quote unquote marginalized communities, and the one of the good things honestly about being one of the good things about supporting Kamala Harris is that she has that intersectionality. She really cares about all of these quote unquote, again, not my word, I don't like to use this word, but marginalized communities, and so she's an ally to all these communities. And so in just supporting her and um keeping up with her stuff, then that helps me, exposes me to other issues that I might not have necessarily seen. Let me see. I have to laugh at this one. Nene says, "I emailed my Chris Dodd supervisor your op-ed. I hope she learned something." Okay, I hope she does some reflection. Blizzard says, "Y'all please pray for us here in Florida. 10,000 new cases and a tropical storm on the way." Oh my God. Hey, Black Millennial. I actually, like I said, people pick and choose what they want to cover. I did see, was it Miami Dade, where they said that the ICU capacity was 146%. So it's gonna take people dying on stretchers in the hallway before people say, "Oh shit, we got a problem." Come on. Let's try to save some folks. Someone needs to get fire behind those Herman Cain tweets, right? Unless that's just I don't know, maybe they all fucking crazy. Robin says, "Did they have a picture of Ben Carson?" No, it didn't. I guess they get the Republicans right, the the blacks right. Um, my life has been filled with Chris Dodds. Anyone competent woman of color does it all the time. Right, I agree. Let me see. Okay, vote by mail. Okay, let's talk about voting. I want to close it off. I have to go in a couple of minutes. Um, let's see. Did you already talk about the Canadian has been Warren Stan term? Bernie says he was doxxed by K High by reposting a picture he posted on his Insta. Kamala's so powerful that her supporters, the K Hive, which I'm a part of, that motherfuckers love to invoke the K Hive for shit that don't have nothing to do with us. I saw somebody had posted a clip of Bill Clinton that they didn't like from his eulogy to John Lewis, and somebody responded under it, K Hive Godfather or something like that. You bitches stay fucking worried about the K Hive. It's so fucking ridiculous and pathetic. It's like, okay, you know what? Get a fucking life. How about that? Y'all bitches is mad because we go hard for motherfucking Kamala Harris. You damn right. And we don't give a fuck that you don't like it. Kiss my ass. I'll speak for myself. Kiss my ass if you don't like it. In person, I need in a hazmat suit. Did y'all see the clip I shared about Tyler Perry, and how he's resuming production? I mean, I was just astonished at how seriously they're taking it. They had people in full, it looked like disposable suits and plastic and all. It was very sanitary and check in all kind of shit. I was like, wow. I think he's definitely setting the gold standard for that. For that. Derek says they said Mayor Garcetti was working against her too. Now I don't believe that. They maybe Villarosa. I think that Villarosa was kind of saying some little shady stuff, but Garcetti is very much a Kamala ally, so I do not believe that for 1 second. That may have been somebody just trying to throw him under the bus. Is Biden making his announcement in August? Well, he ain't got a fucking choice, cause that's what you gonna do a convention by himself. He's saying I don't know. Fox News reported yesterday that he's gonna do it closer to the convention, which I think is asinine. And I know people say, "Oh, it's not too late." Da, 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 da. He has been the nominee since motherfucking April. Number one, number two. There's no real convention. If people really honestly believe that you're gonna have this same amount of interest in this digital virtual convention that you would have in any other year where you're gonna make this big fucking splash, you're delusional. Okay? Because the convention is gonna look like all the other shit that we've been watching for the past now damn near 5 fucking months. Okay, let's say 4 months, 4.5 months, with everything look like fucking Zoom and looks like how I look right now on your screens. Don't nobody give a fuck about that shit. I'm just being honest. Unless y'all gonna sit up there and have like the BET Awards. Now that would be interesting. I would watch that. But all these people that they're gonna show, we've been seeing them. We done seen them on every show. We done seen them on every Zoom, every town hall. So I'm just confused as to why anybody thinks that, oh, let's save it for the convention and make a big splash at the convention. It's not gonna make a difference. So just go on ahead and fucking announce your pick and get it over with. That's what I say. Let's see. Oh, but voting. Okay. Voting is going to be on November 3rd. Let's just be clear. I know Donald Trump sat up there and put that punk ass tweet out today about, oh, maybe we should move the elections until it's safe. All this kind of stuff. I'm not entertaining, by the way, any questions about any other VP candidates. Y'all, I done answered the shit every day for the past however many fucking weeks I've been doing this, and I say the same thing. The VP needs to be Kamala Harris. If you're looking for me to make you feel better about it not being her, I ain't that bitch. I ain't the one for it. You can go ahead and buy it. I'm not here to sit up there and say, well, if it's this person, I don't know. I've said what I said, and that's all I'm gonna say. So don't come over here with that shit. Oh yeah. So Donald Trump said that that he would like to see it pushed out. And then you had people were freaking out too because Pompeo has said something like, "Oh, the DOJ is going to determine whether or not it's going to happen." This, come on, let's just be fucking real. They don't have the authority to do that. Now, what they can do is they can sit up here and obstruct. They can sit up here and suppress. They could send people to intimidate. They can do all those things. I understand that part. But in terms of actually moving the election, they cannot do that. That's going to take an act of Congress. It's literally in the Constitution. All right. And Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House, and she's not going to go for that. Okay. And then on top of all that, you have to have the individual states that are willing to move. Okay. Where most of these states have Democratic governors. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people don't understand is that, early voting is going to be starting, sooner rather than later. Ballots being printed out and stuff like that. And so, the engine is moving, the locomotive is on the tracks, and this election won't be stopped. I think that we all need to have a voting plan. So, ideally, that means requesting your absentee ballot early. That means checking if you're registered, double checking your registration, re-registering if necessary, making sure all your information is up to date. It means, getting involved in terms of attending or calling into your election board meetings. These are the kinds of things that we have to prepare for. And we have to do it now because I think I saw today's at 96 days before the election. I don't know why the fuck Joe Biden still doesn't announce his pick, but that's okay. But the time is ticking. And deadlines for registering, deadlines for requesting absentee ballots are going to be here before we know it. So go to vote.org today. Okay, today, to honor John Lewis. If you're not registered, if let's say you're so against voting, just register. And then if you don't vote, then I guess that just makes you an asshole. But at least you have the option to vote if you feel so compelled on election day. Okay. But that's what we need to be worried about, not what the fuck Trump is talking about, because he cannot move the election. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go, y'all, because I gotta get ready for rolling in 15 minutes. So thank y'all for joining me. I know it was super short today, y'all. I know that, but I appreciate y'all for joining me. And I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully people, I had a pretty chill day, to be honest with you. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't more than average shenanigans. It was lower than average shenanigans. Jennifer says 5 weeks early voting starts in North Carolina. Exactly. Oh wait, MD Terp says, did anyone else's heart drop when it broke? When it broke that Ruth Bader Ginsburg was back in the hospital last night. I did not hear that. Hopefully she's okay. That's very, very, very disturbing to hear. Oh, and by the way, before I go, please hit the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not watching on YouTube, watching other places, go ahead and hit the like button when you exit out. Okay? And I will see y'all later on Rolling or tomorrow on Boss Unfiltered, 5 p.m. Let me see. Tell Roland to get some moderators. Reese, his chats get over. I know, right? It's a mess. I don't even like looking at the chats. But anyway, all right, y'all.